so Sunday was Easter.
Sure was.
Yeah, you were here.
Yep.
Important question. Like we always do. Always an important question.
Yeah.
Vitally important.
Yeah.
Favorite Easter candy? Because undoubtedly Easter has the best candy.
Yes.
So, favorite Easter candy?
So, historically, the answer for me has been Peeps. I'm actually one of those people who likes Peeps. Yeah, whatever. I'm fine with it.
I can't stand it.
But recently, it's more accurate because I don't eat them as much anymore. I don't eat a lot of sugar as much anymore. But now it is the Starburst jelly beans.
Oh, 100%. If you're gonna jelly bean, that's the bean.
That's it.
Those are the best jelly beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're wrong.
Hold on. Let's see if I can.
No.
Are you a chocolate or a non-chocolate? Okay. You're going the Reese's. You're going the Cadbury egg.
Heck yes.
With caramel in the
middle? Oh, no.
You're going the traditional.
Listen, first of all, you're doing too much work.
I did eat a Cadbury egg.
Cadbury eggs are delicious. Delicious. Like, I don't know. There's something wrong with them. Like, you shouldn't be eating
Do you
them,
do the chocolate, like, small little chalky ones? They're like little. Those are good. I used to eat a lot of those.
I mean, I'm sure they are good. Listen, there are not many forms of chocolate that I'm like, no thanks. That doesn't usually happen.
That's not an issue.
That's not usually a problem I have. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But, I do. I think Cadbury eggs are probably the chef's kiss of Easter candy.
They are good.
But I do. A jelly bean is also delightful. Samuel's all of a sudden, like, he got some candy, like some Hershey Kisses, like not a lot. Chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
He knows about it now.
Yeah.
There's no going back.
In a related discussion, Hannah and I had a conversation about the best form of Reese's.
Sure.
Because there's so many. And I can't remember if she told me it's the Christmas tree or it's the egg, but one of those two is her favorite. I think it's kind of a toss-up for her.
They're pretty similar.
Yeah.
Steven got me some Snickers eggs.
Oh, interesting.
They're very good. Because Snickers is my favorite candy bar. So he got me some of those.
I used to have a history teacher who I don't think went to church, but he would talk so excitedly about how after Easter, he would go get all the candy because it was on sale.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
I just, I love the sweetness that is offered only at Easter. That candy is only Easter candy.
It is a plus.
You can get jelly beans, I guess, probably other times a year, but they're not, they're a little harder to find. And Cadbury eggs are not on.
Which, like, there's not, I guess there's candy corn at Halloween. I guess there's some Christmas candy.
Like candy canes.
Candy canes.
At Christmas.
But Easter really has the market on the candy.
Yeah.
Like,
there's something extra
sweet. The candy industry really comes out for
there's something
the
extra
resurrection
of
Jesus Christ.
That's right. You want to celebrate a risen Christ? Have some sugar.
Have some sugar.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the end of Holy Week and Easter. Easter Sunday. Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm Becca. I'm the pastor of family ministries here at Katy First.
And I'm Mark. I'm the senior pastor at Katy First.
Welcome to the Katy First Family Podcast, where we offer ideas, inspiration, and encouragement to help you and your family grow as joyful disciples of Jesus Christ. That's right. We're talking about Easter, the wrap up of like Holy Week. We don't have to go super deep into that, but I felt like Maundy Thursday was great. We took communion together.
We did.
And Good Friday, always kind of a tough service. We talked a lot about that last week.
Yeah.
About like helping kind of walk into that.
Yeah.
With families. And I thought it was really great.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really delighted in how many people participated in some form in Good Friday.
Yeah.
I saw parents there with kids in the nursery. I had some parents text me they watched it together at home.
Oh, wow.
So,
cool.
Yeah, no, it was good. I
Awesome.
think that went really well. And then Easter, and we started a new tradition.
Yeah, we got a sunrise service, which was awesome. It was lovely.
It was lovely.
It was really cool. It was my first sunrise service ever. I've never done one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm a big fan. I'm not a morning person either, so
Really?
I think well, Miley's made me more of a morning
I was going to
person.
say,
So now I'm
parents don't have the luxury.
I'm at the stage now where like sunrise services are fine.
Like, that's fine.
No issue. And it was a lot of fun. It was really great. I'm looking forward to doing it again next year.
And next week. No, I'm just kidding.
And next week. And the next week. We had a great egg hunt.
Super fun.
So much fun.
It was super fun. I was nervous. That's not really a hashtag.
That's
is it?
hashtag.
That's how I was going to say it in quotes, like make it little.
Yeah.
I was nervous because I didn't know how it would go, having not done it here before.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
My son was definitely an instigator and slightly problematic.
No, that's good.
There goes the preacher's kid. He's just screaming and stealing all the eggs before they start.
Like, if it's not yours, it's mine.
Well,
We got two.
at least they partner.
Two PKs hamming it up
They
want to.
They are doing things, and
Yeah.
they are starting to team up on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had a great sanctuary 11 o'clock service. I love the procession that happens at the beginning of an Easter service, bringing in things, raising the banners.
This is the only church I've ever been at that does all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think it's really special.
I guess that's probably true for me too.
I've tried to talk other churches I've served into doing that.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, well, you're wrong. This is great.
Yeah.
Because it's so, I think it makes it so special.
Yeah. And then now we're into not just Easter Sunday, but the season of Easter, which Lent is long.
Right.
But the good news is, so is the season of Easter, which is a season of celebration.
Yeah.
Which is all really fun. And we were in the Gospel of Mark this year, which we've been in a lot of different times during in the season of Lent. And really that Mark kind of throws you into Easter and says, go on, like
Figure it out.
Go
Do
find
something.
Jesus. Yeah. And we talked about our affinity for that gospel, and I think last week we kind of promoted like, hey, beware, because Mark ends with a cliffhanger.
And it definitely
There
did.
is no like, you don't see Jesus in Mark's gospel. You just hear and you see the tomb is empty, but then you're like told to like, now go ahead. He's gone before you, go find him. And like, that's sort of still our invitation in Easter. Like, go find the Christ before you. So a lovely time now it's this fun season of Easter that, not to get too far down the road, they'll take us to Pentecost, but in this season we're celebrating, we're looking for Christ, we're celebrating new life, we're just got our eyes open to what's this new thing that God's doing and birthing and calling us into. And
Samuel has this book that he's obsessed with that we have to read every night now called When Spring Comes, because I am a weirdo. I'm fine with it. I've accepted it in my heart along with Jesus. And and I switch out some of his books like seasonally. So we have like Easter books and spring books. And so this one is specifically about the season of spring. And it talks about how like when spring comes, we actually read it in family Sunday school one day.
Okay.
When spring comes, an egg turns into a bird. If you wait, a seed will grow into a flower, and it goes on. And I feel like for me, I love that Easter and spring are interconnected. Yeah. Because it is so illustrative of this new life, of things that were dead coming alive again, or things that looked dead, we thought were dead, springing forth.
I agree.
And blooming, and it's just so easy. If nothing else, we know everything is blooming because we all are covered in yellow pollen, and we can't stop sneezing. But it's a sign of life, even our sneezing. And it's just I think it's such an easy illustrative point with our kiddos and for ourselves, to just really enjoy the gift of creation in this time. And look, this is like an easy time to be like, look, God really is making all things new. This is what this is about. and to just really enjoy it. There's so many ways to be outside, to enjoy nature, even if it's just opening a window, even if it's just rolling your car windows down on the way home, you know, just for part of the ride, just little stuff to just really like enjoy and to celebrate for as long as we can before we're back to living on the surface of the sun.
You know, for real.
Yeah. Brace yourself. Summer is coming.
I agree. I think that's well, especially as a 9 who loves nature. There's just one tree on my typical jogging path that I look forward to every time this year, because when the leaves turn green, like it's just the like most beautiful version of green. It like gets darker as the summer goes along. So like I really look forward to like seeing that one tree. And it's funny, like growing up in Arkansas, spring happens a little later.
That makes sense.
But we have dogwood trees in Arkansas, and those bloom really before everything else. And so like I lived in a real wooded area, and you could see the dogwood trees all throughout, and that was like the first sign of spring.
Yeah.
And then there was like this old like it's a made up thing that like Jesus was crucified on a dogwood tree, and the flower reflects. And you know, it's not.
I've heard that actually.
Have you?
Yes, that one, and then there's like the thing about the poinsettia, which is unrelated to spring, but still.
But like all these signs of new life, and that's such an easy like way of pointing to this is where God is alive every year. Yeah, the new thing that's springing up.
Yeah, one of the things like on sunrise service that I kept like noticing was, you know, because it's not like we're in a bustling, busy part of town, but it is downtown, and there are lots of cars that go by all the time. Yeah. And I was amazed at all the bird sounds I heard at sunrise. There's just a lot of birds around here. Yeah. And there were geese that flew over at one point while we were at sunrise, and just that instinct to keep looking up, right? I think is such a gift of this time of year. Yeah. I think, you know, it's tricky because it's also a busy season. Yeah. Like there's a lot going on. And at some point we'll come to a season where I don't say that. Probably not. And also sometimes I think it's hard if it's spring outside, but it's not like a springy season in your life, like personally. Yeah. Sometimes it just feels rude. You know, that like everything else is so bright and cheery. I mean, sometimes it can feel comforting, and I'm grateful for those moments. But I think, you know, if we're in a place where we can look up, where we can enjoy the beauty, and we can really cling to the new creation, awesome, because it's right here in front of us. And if you're in a place where that just feels like a little bit difficult, it's also still right here for you. And it's okay. Like wherever you're at, this is whatever season your life is in, this season of new creation is still also available to you. You can hold both things at once. Yeah. And I think that's such a blessing. So wherever season you're in or your family's in, whatever things look like for you, that really this is just such an invitation to celebrate the fullness of what it means to say that God is good and that God is making all things new again. So it's a good time. Good time of year.
It's a lovely time.
Yeah. So what are we talking about next? Like what's the next? Like we did the whole thing. You know, a very good God. The apocalypse we were waiting for. Yeah. It was apocalyptic.
So next we're going to move into the book of 1 John. So our lectionary.
What are we moving into?
The book of 1 John. Okay.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I don't know what I thought you said, but that wasn't it. I was like, I don't think that's in the Bible. Please continue. The book of 1 John.
If you're unfamiliar with the lectionary is a yearly cycle of scripture readings that there's Old Testament, a Psalm, a New Testament, and an epistle or a letter. And if there's 4 every Sunday, and they rotate. There's 3 years, A, B, C, years A, B, C, and D. And so,
wait, I don't think there's.
Sorry, there's no D. Forget the D. There is no D.
I think it's just A, B,
just A, B, C. Anyway, there's a long-winded way of telling you that, and I just because sometimes when we throw out the word lectionary, some people know what that is.
Yeah, some people don't. Yeah.
And so the lectionary after Easter in this year actually goes through the whole book of First John. And I just thought, well, sure, let's just go through it. But First John, I'm a little nervous to preach through this because it's got some kind of like...
Spiders? What was that?
I'm trying to figure out what the right word is. It's got some language that I think may be offensive to people.
Ooh.
But it also has some of the most beautiful language about God. So it's like, it's the reason I wanted to say, I said yes to it is because it really emphasizes God as love and the implications of what does that mean. Yeah. So it's a little late in the game, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to call this sermon series, What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I saw that graphic.
What's love got to do?
Wow.
And so, yeah, you can edit that out.
Nope. Keeping it. It was great.
So we're going to talk about that. What's love? But also, like, that's kind of the theological theme on it. But there's also a side of it I wanted to go through a whole book because I also like sometimes preaching through books because it's one way we can talk about how we read our Bibles. Mm-hmm. And First John with the more like difficult side of it. What do we do with these words that sometimes we're unsure about? Like he uses language of like blood and antichrist, and it has sort of like a real like in and out, either you are with God or you're not. And sometimes that sort of dichotomy can be sort of offensive to us.
Yeah.
Like, but these are old letters. These are written to particular communities. What's it mean for us to read a letter that had a very specific... So it'll kind of be... We'll do both of those. So if you want to talk about love, come on. If you want to like sit with a letter and what's it mean for us to apply that to our life when it was not written to us, that'll also be one sort of fun angle. So we're going to do that for the next few weeks, but most importantly, this Sunday is Confirmation Sunday. And I bet we can talk more about that next week.
Yeah, we can, for sure.
That's a big deal as we got kiddos coming to
be confirmed.
That's right. Do their confirmation, profession of faith, become members. So it's another big Sunday, which is great.
I feel like all of April, we have a lot going on, actually.
Yeah, and then it's May, and guess what? We have more things coming on, and then it's June.
Okay, stop, because I need to lay down now. Speaking of June, you know one thing that's coming up.
Yeah. Tell us.
VBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so our registration has gone out. We've kind of kept it a little bit quietish to give people in church and LPS families, like a chance to register first. Mm-hmm. But now it's going to be up on the website, and we've got people already calling and asking, and registrations are coming in, which the main thing is we're going to need volunteers.
Yeah,
if we want, we need, it's super fun.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody to do. Even if you're going to be out of town that week, there are things you can do before or after that are vital to making VBS happen.
Absolutely.
So there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
I can think of no good reason not to help in some way.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It really was. Last year we had a super fun VBS, and part of the fun was just we had so many people get involved. Yeah. And I think when we all have a little part in it, it really is a good time. Our
theme this year is Camp Firelight. So we are going to summer camp for the week. It's going to be super fun.
Cool.
So you can find out more information about VBS and all of the other events that we have going on at katyfirst.org. Mostly we want you to know that wherever you are today, whatever your life looks like, the middle of your messy, ordinary life, that you are loved, you are not alone, and you are doing a really good job.
Yeah. We'd love to see you on Sunday. Join us for this confirmation, a new sermon series. Yep. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Bye.